Hello guys, and welcome to the second video of Let's Learn Some Anatomy, right? You're bored, and I am too, so join me and let's learn some anatomy. Alright, I just want to make sure this is recording. Alright, let's go. And if you want, guys, I can make a video on how to record using this software. It's super easy, right? You want to get into YouTube, do this. Very easy to make these kind of videos. And why not? Let's begin. We left off on this question. Name the cell in a bone that functions to deposit bony matrix. That is the osteoblast. Why? Because it grows, right? The osteoblasting into that growth. Alright, here we go. Let's see what question has in store for us right here. Oh man. Is it gonna load? It is. Alright. It is probably really slow because YouTube. Right there on the top. Alright. Alright. Oh, no, it's because we got a big question here. Alright, great way to start the video. Let's go. So, read the overview and complete the interactivities below. That follow. The skull is composed of the cranium and the facial bones. These bones are articulated together to protect the brain and provide attachment points for muscles. Many of the bony structures of the skull are composed of more than one bony tissue tied together. I said that way wrong. For instance, the orbit of the eye is composed of 7 facial and cranial bones. Alright, so let's join and let's go. This activity will guide you through it. A general overview of 24 bones of the skull and their active locations. Alright, next. Oh, we're going to get a video on a video. Let's go. Maybe if it loads.
The human skull is made up of 8 cranial bones that surround and protect the brain, and 14 facial bones that form the underlying structure of the face
I hope you guys are able to hear this.
for the teeth.
Oh my gosh, I was too busy seeing if you guys were able to hear this to actually God dang it. Go back. Oh shoot. I'm gonna have to go back. God dang it. I was too busy seeing if you guys would know. There are blank bones of the skull that protect the brain. As always, if you don't know something, Google it, right? If you don't know it, you Google it, and it's going to tell you everything that you need to know. 8 bones protect the brain. So, 8...
With the exception of the mandible, the bones of the skull articulate with each other through joints known as sutures. Throughout the skull, holes known as foramina serve as passageways for blood vessels and nerves.
What are the small holes in the skull called that serve as passageways for blood vessels and nerves? In the video, this said it was foramina. Could also be foramen, I don't know.
Bones on the surface of the skull encase the brain, protect sensory organs, and serve as attachment sites for the muscles of the head and neck. These bones include the occipital bone, parietal bones, temporal bones, and the frontal bone, as well as the nasal bones, the zygomatic bones, the maxilla, and the mandible.
Which bone is the most posterior skull bone? There we go. Posterior, what does that mean? That means back, right? So we're going to do that. Occipital, you want the back of the skull. I basically just said the answer right there.
Other bones become more visible only when looking inside the skull. The sphenoid bone makes up the anterior base of the cranium. It is a butterfly-shaped bone with a central body and 2 pair of laterally projecting wings. These wings form portions of the orbit. The body of the sphenoid features a depression known as the sella turcica, which houses the pituitary gland.
Alright, the sphenoid bone makes a portion of the orbit. True, what it said. Oh, what sits in the sella turcica? That, it said, is pituitary gland. I honestly forgot what the pituitary gland was. So, as always, pituitary gland. This YouTube really needs to get going. The anterior pituitary gland produces the following hormones and releases them into the bloodstream. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, which stimulates the adrenal glands to secrete. So basically, just hormones. That's what we need to know. If you want to know more about it, Google it, and let me know in the comments, right, what you know about it. So what sits in the sella turcica? Pituitary glands.
Located between the orbits, the ethmoid bone makes up a portion of the cranial floor and also the roof of the nasal cavity. An inferior projection, the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone, forms part of the nasal septum. The crista galli projects superiorly from the ethmoid bone and serves as the attachment point for the falx cerebri, a dural fold. Extending laterally from the crista galli is the cribriform plate, a perforated area through which the olfactory nerves pass.
Oh, buddy. Which location is not made up by the ethmoid bone? Huh. Which location is not made up by the ethmoid bone? Anterior roof of the mouth, anterior floor of the cranium, superior portion of the nasal septum. There we go. You know, I'm going to probably get this wrong. But we're just going to say superior.
The two L-shaped palatine bones form the posterior third of the hard palate, part of the nasal cavity, and a portion of the orbit. The small, thin lacrimal bones make up the anterior portion of the medial wall of each orbit. A groove known as the lacrimal groove helps to form the nasolacrimal canal, which contains a duct that allows tears to travel to the nasal cavity.
Dang right.
The vomer is an elongated, plow-shaped bone that forms the inferior and posterior part of the nasal septum.
That bone looks sharp. Which bone makes a portion of the roof of the mouth? That is a palatal bone. The palatal bone is also the hard palate, you know. Use your tongue right now and go to the roof of your mouth right now. How hard is it? Pretty hard, right? Your tongue can't go through that. So palatal bone it is.
The internal and external skull bones articulate precisely, forming an intricate structure perfectly suited to its functions.
Awesome. Thank you, dude. You're a great guy. Well, this is easy. Occipital, that is the posterior, right? What does posterior mean? Pause the video right now. Answer in the comments. I hope you got it right. I'll tell you at the end of the video if you got it right, and I'll say the answer. But here we go. We got frontal. That is also cranial bone. And you know what? The sphenoid bone. That is... I'm just going to say these real quick. Palatal bone. Wow. I want to make sure I get these right, you know. Sphenoid bone, that is in the cranial, right? The ethmoid bone, that is also in the cranial. There we go. Facial bones, the palatin is in the facial bones because that affects your whatever, right? And then you also got your vomer. You got your inferior, your lacrimal, your zygomatic. That is your cheekbone, so that's obviously a facial bone, right? Zygomatic is cheekbone. Your maxilla, what is that, you may ask? Hey, I'll tell you what it is. So the maxilla, or maxilla, is, let me move it over. It forms the upper jaw. Bam, right? It's this area right here. I pointed at the screen thinking that you'd be able to see it, but that was stupid. Right here, it's the yellow portion of the skull, right above the teeth. Mandible, that is below the teeth. You actually got 32 teeth. Fun fact right there. Mandible, that's a facial bone, right? You look at people, wow, you got a nice mandible. Dang right. Nasal bone, all people have different noses. It's just a fact. That's a facial bone. All cranial bones function to protect the brain and thus form a portion of the cranial cavity. Yeah. Which bone does not make up the part of the orbit? What is the orbit? Whoa! The medial wall is formed primarily by the orbital plate of the ethmoid, as well as the contributions from the frontal process of the maxilla, the lacrimal bone, and small part of the body of the sphenoid, is the thinnest wall of the orbit, evidenced by pituitized ethmoid bones. Okay. Alright, so let's just take a minute and read that, read it to yourself, see if you get it. The medial wall. Alright, so we read that, if you haven't finished reading it, just pause it real quick, so we're looking for frontal, sphenoid, and lacrimal. So frontal, sphenoid, ethmoid, lacrimal, bomber. Bam! That better be it. What bone? Wait a minute, does it say bone? Okay, I'm glad it didn't because that would have been bad. What bone makes the anterior base of the skull? What did I say? Right? Anterior base of the skull. That is the front. Anterior means front. Forms a portion of the orbit and is composed of body and two wings. Alright. What two bones make the nasal septum? The vamal. Yep. Let's just double check. I know, we're leading up to the big, here we go, nasal septum. Bam. So we got the vomer and the ethmoid. Alright, so the vomer contributes to the inferior portion of the nasal septum. Inferior means below. Inferior means like, if I were to give an example, I would say my eyes are inferior to my frontal bone, right? My frontal bone is above my eyes, so the eyes are inferior to the frontal bone, right? And let's see. What two bones? It's the vomer and the ethmoid bone. I'm coming back to that one. Don't worry. I'm coming back for you. The two wings. I feel like it's sphenoid bone. Sphenoid bone. Let's go. What facial bone is the only bone not joined to other skull bones by sutures? Oh, I remember this. What facial bone is the only bone not joined to other skull bones by sutures? Yeah. Some of you guys might be knowing this and be like, hello, it's that answer right there. So we know the zygomatic, right, the cheek, is obviously going to be formed by sutures, right, the sutures. And sutures, if you guys don't remember what those are like the little, kind of like those ridges, but they are seamless on the skull. Like, you can't tell apart from each part of the skull. Those little sutures are what divide those little portions of the cranial. And so we got those. And then the nasal, okay. Nasal bone is obviously going to be joined by 2 bones, right? Maxillary, zygomatic, mandible. What's a maxillary? Maxillary bone. No. Maxillary bone. Of the alveolar process of the maxillae holds the upper teeth and is referred to as maxilla. Each attaches the lateral to these. Okay. So that's not it. Honestly, you guys are gonna have to tell me on this in the comments. You guys, hopefully I can get it right. But right now, we're gonna have to say. I'm gonna have to say, man. Let's see. What is mandible? Let's read this. I feel like, let's just real quick. I don't know why I haven't been doing that the whole time. It's the mandible, right? Because it doesn't have sutures. So let's go. You guys don't need to tell me in the comments anymore, because guess right. And it is right. Alright. I hope it is. What are the functions of the skeletal system? Well, that's very easy. If you guys need a pause to this video, you guys better hurry, because it's a super hard video, right? Actually, it's not really that hard. We're just learning. So, let's go. Skeletal system, what is the function? Protects soft tissue. Provides attachment for muscles. No. Yes. Storing organic salts. Exchange gases for the body. No, that ain't even close. No. The skeletal system does not exchange gases for the body. What it does is it protects soft tissue, provides attachment for muscles, and stores inorganic salts. What does exchange gases for the body? The respiration system, right? And that's basically about it for this question. Complete the following sentences regarding the organization of the skeleton. There are approximately 206 bones that make up the skeleton. The skeleton can be divided into blank major sections. So head, neck, and trunk. No, that's not. Upper and lower limb section. Upper major section. The skeleton can be divided into upper and lower limbs major sections. That don't even sound. 2 major sections. That sounds. The blank skeleton consists of structures that support and protect the organs of the bone. The axonal skeleton consists of structures that support and protect the organs. Oh, so the axon, yep. Of the head, neck, and trunk. This is a very good question. But I feel like organs of the head, neck, and trunk. The blank skeleton consists of bones that provide attachments, joints for muscles. The appendicular skeleton consists of bones. My God, I don't like this so far. Bones that provide attachment points for muscles in the blank, and bones that anchor limbs to a trunk. Okay, alright, now we're getting somewhere. The upper and lower limbs skeleton. The upper and lower limb skeleton consist of bones that provide attachments for muscles. It could be all this. Head, neck, and trunk. Oh. Because we have head. The head has muscles, the neck has muscles, and the trunk skeleton consists. Yeah, I don't know this. The skeleton consists of bones that provide attachment points for muscles in the head, neck, and trunk, and bones that anchor the limbs to the trunk. You know what? The blank skeleton consists, we're just going to have to do this, right? We're going to do the appendicular skeleton. Consists of bones that provide attachment points for the muscles in the upper and lower limbs. I don't know why that was so hard for me. But let's go. Alright, now we got a great question right here. Functions of the skeletal system are site of blood producing cells, right? I think I might have said this in my last video, but let's just lay out, a picture of the bone right in your head. Visualize a picture of a bone. Yes, a nice meaty bone. Wait, no, it's just a bone because there's no meat on it. So here we go. The bone, the shaft of the bone, the middle part, the shaft, the ends of the bone. The shaft is called the diaphysis, right? And the edges, the outer parts of the bone are called, the two parts are called the epiphyses, right? Google those if you want to know how to, just Google the ends of the bones and you'll find out how to spell it. But the ends of the bones contain red marrow, which is a site for blood producing cells. Blood that is made there are red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets, right? So yeah, there's just a little nice little fun fact right there. Oh, don't let me forget. In the diaphysis, the shaft of the bone is yellow marrow. And yeah, what is red? I forgot what this one is. Just blood cells. Okay. Basically, it's just kind of some white blood cells develop. Some white. The color of yellow marrow is due to the much higher. The color yellow is due to the much higher number of fat cells. Okay. Okay, so red blood cells, platelets, and most white blood cells rise in the inner red marrow. In red marrow. And you have the space right there. There we go. Here's that for you. So let's begin. More functions of the skeletal system. What do they combine? Come on, tell me. I'm kidding. Stores inorganic salts, correct. I wonder what kind of salts it is. It's a very hard, your bones are really hard. They're real, like, I can't explain how hard they are. They're hard. Alright. Trust me on that. Regulates oxygen concentration. No. Point of attachment for muscles. Dang right. Generates heat. In a way it does, but it doesn't, right? It's just attachments for the muscles. Protects soft tissues. Correct. Just like if you need an example for protect soft tissues, think of the thoracic cavity, right? The thorax is containing the ribs, mediastinum, that stuff protects the lungs, the heart, the pleural cavities, which are the lungs, and then also the small, large, all those kind of organs right there, liver, etc. Senses, external environment, no. I'm pretty sure senses external environment is the nervous system. Stores energy. No. Right? We don't store energy in our bones. Why would we put it in our bones? Alright, ample movement allowed. Fibrous strands. Ooh, we got some good questions here. Let's go. I'm going to need to flip to the page on this. Okay. let's just take a time. Let me find out where in the world this page is at, because oh, okay, there we go. Alright, let's go. We got ample movement allowed. Let's just read fibrous joints and filling it in from there, right? So fibrous joints lie between bones that closely contact one another and are held together by a thin layer of dense connective tissues. An example of such a joint is suture between a pair of flat bones of the skull. Oh, okay. So the fibrous joints are in the skull. Okay. In the sutures. Or they form the suture. Alright. Generally, no appreciable movement takes place at fibrous joints. So they're stable, right? They ain't going to move. Fibrous joints don't move. They stay there. Some fibrous joints, such as a joint in the leg between the distal ends of the tibia and fibula, have limited movement. Alright. So ample movement allowed is definitely not going to be that. Cartilage, joints, bones, dense connective tissue, dang right. There we go. Small amount of movement found in the cranium, dang right. Most joints of the body are this. No. Oh, I mean, small, not really, but no movement. Whoa. Whoa. So it's almost kind of both. Like it says in the knee right here, small amount of movement, but not really much. So cartilaginous joints. Let's read that. Hyaline cartilage or fibrocartilage connects the bones of the cartilaginous joints. For example, joints of this type separate the vertebrae of the vertebral column. Each intervertebral disc is composed of a band of fibrocartilage and nucleus fibrosus surrounding a pulpy or gelatinous core. Nucleus pulposus. The disc absorbs shock and helps equalize pressure between the vertebrae when the body moves. Due to the slight flexibility of the disc, cartilaginous joints allow limited movement. Amphithyroidic. So, limited movement. Okay, alright. So there we go. As when the back is bent forward or the side of the twisted. Other examples of cartilaginous joints include the pubic symphysis and the first rib with the sternum. Awesome, the first rib. Let's go, lucky man. Alright, so we got a small amount of movement, that's cartilaginous. It joins bones, am I right? Connects the bones. 6 subtypes. Whoa, that is weird. Oh, that is definitely synovial. I remember reading that. Most joints of the body are this. Most joints of the body. Here we go. Most joints in the skeleton system are synovial. Bam, right there. Synovial joints. There's a reason why there's ample movement allowed. Because synovial joints have synovial fluid, and that lubricates your cartilage so that it's easily to just ever so slightly, not slightly, you moved a lot. The synovial joints, they make it easier to move. So ample movement is allowed. That was super confusing. I hope you guys followed that along. Alright, so here we go. We're just flying right through this. Sorta, not really. What is an example of a fibrous joint? We just read so much of a fibrous joint, so if you guys don't remember this, I'm either really bad at talking, which I probably am, which is alright, or I'm just bad, or something's wrong, I don't know what. But it's the sutures in the skull, right? The things in between the areas of the skull. Label the structures of the thoracic cage. Well, this is a nice question. I wish they were all like this. We can all learn some body parts right here. I want to flip to the page real quick, make sure I'm actually getting it right. So, here we go. And when I say flip to the page, I have an anatomy book, and I'm flipping to the page with these kind of questions on it, so I'm just kind of using it as a reference point to answer these questions. So, here we go. Obviously, what is this? My goodness, I just knew something was up. yeah. If you guys, again, want me to make a video on how to make videos on this, definitely say something, and I will. Alright? I definitely need to fix this because you guys are unable to see my, you guys are unable to see my mouse, so I mean, you guys need to be able to see that, right? Because you guys need to, I'm just gonna have to tell you guys right now, like, what to look at. So here we go. I apologize for that. There we go. Alright, so the first couple ribs right there on the top of the left, we got the true ribs. Because why? Because there's hyaline cartilage connected to the sternum. So those are going to be called true ribs. The vertebrosternal. Oh, sternal. So vertebrosternal ribs, right? Because they're on the sternum. And then we also got the top, where that little, the clavicle notch. Man, I really wish you guys could see this, but, I mean, see the mouse, No, there's nothing very important happening in my living room right now. So, hope you guys don't get that excited. Right in the middle, we got the body. It's kind of like just the body, because normally that's kind of like a general term used on a body surface. When it's in the middle, it's usually called the body. Another example I can just think of right now is the invertebral disc, right? This vertebral column. That's another word. You got this little divot right here, right on the sternum. That is going to be the exfoid process. So I'm just going to slide this over, fix this a bit so you can actually see everything. And then what this little area, this little area, don't take in consideration that this false ribs is the answer, but right here is going to be called the sternum, right? Because I'm going to use this so you guys can actually tell where I'm facing at, right? Basically, just because I want to make sure you guys can understand what I see. So we got costal cartilage. That is the stuff that connects the ribs to the sternum, right? This costal cartilage on both sides, right? There we go. It's bilateral, I believe that's right. No, yeah, that's right. Bilateral basically means that you have one part on each side of the body. If floating ribs or false ribs, these are called false ribs right here, because they don't connect to the sternum, so that's why they're false ribs. They're just basically there to just add in some more protection. And then you get your vertebrochondral ribs, right? 8, 9, and 10 are vertebrochondral ribs. And then you also got your floating ribs, they're just they don't have any cartilage on them. They're just kind of there, they're just hanging out, right? They're hanging. They're the true definition of, hey, you want to hang out? That's a nice pun. Yeah, no one's going to laugh at that. But here we go. We got another one like this. So I guess this is another great one to end on, honestly. So we're going to read the overview, blah, blah, blah. You can pause it if you want to read it. I'm not. Did we just skip that whole question? We did. All right. So place the following bones in the appropriate part of the skull. The axial skeleton is going to be considered of the neck. The head, the neck, and the big torso, That's going to be the axial region. So if we were to do that, we got the head right there. We got, it's breaking down into bones. There we go. That's obviously going to be contained as the axial skull. Whoa, what? Well, that's cool. I believe this is a scapula. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like it's a scapula, like the backbone. I hope you do. I hope you guys got a nice picture. If not, I will embed it into your brain. I will do it so many times for you guys. But alright, here we got the pelvic bone. These are all example of appendicular, except this guy. Right? Let's just make sure we got this right. Blah blah blah. There we go. Alright. Categorize the following: upper extremity, lower extremity. Alright, so hi guys. I hope you all know this right here is a hand and not a foot. Because if your feet look like that, you got some problems. Because, yeah, that's not good. Right here, you can obviously the tibia and the fibula. The fibula is lateral and the tibia is medial. Right here, we got some type of, this might be humor or femur. I honestly don't, I mean, it might be the, yeah, I'm going to have to grab this, I'm going to have to know this real quick. So I don't want to put in the wrong thing, obviously just get something wrong. Alright, so here we go. This is definitely going to be, alright. It is a femur. Alright, there's a reason why. I did, whoa. Okay, there's a reason why. This little thing right here on the top, it extends right. That is the thing that goes into the, the little area of the hip that lets it rotate, right? There's that. And then we obviously got this. It's kind of like, is it the lower extremity? Is it really? That's a good question. Wow. I'm gonna have to say the pelvic. I don't know. No, we're gonna have to say is the pelvic. It is. It is lower. As always, ignore the awesome dogs up there. Yeah, I love dogs. Interior view. Oh my goodness, they're really testing us on this one. I got a great page on this actually. So let's see, because we got to get them right. Am I right? There we go. So right here and oh wait, what in the world? This is gonna be a posterior view, and this is gonna be obviously just whoa. Is this a hip? No, that's right. Because that's not what it looks like when I'm an idiot. All right, there's that. And then we got all right, this is because you got to think of it in a different way. Like when you're interior, both of those could be considered interior. Could they? Or could they? No. Well, I mean, in a way. Because right here, I'm in the anatomical position, and I look down and I see both of those facing like that. But how do I know? Oh, wait, that has to be the front part. So if it is like this, that means it has to be posterior. I don't care what you say. It has to be posterior. I'm sorry. And this is really hard to tell because in a way, this could all be either way, So that's back. That's gonna have to be the interior view. No, it's not. It's gonna have to be switched around. Oh my gosh. Okay, is this literally the same bone? Oh my goodness, this is a good one. So how am I supposed to know if it's... They're really getting us on this. Alright, so this is posterior view. This is gonna be anterior. Oh my god, no, that's not it. Is it it? Is it? Is it really? Dang right. Let's go. Because, my goodness. They really set up on this one. Really set it up on this one. Because, oh my gosh, it's, do not get me on that one. You guys are going to have to tell me if I'm wrong or not, because I definitely feel like I am. Oh, well, this is easy. Superior to inferior. Well, until I looked at it, and then almost these look all the same. We got a nice question here, actually. This is definitely a good one to end on. Definitely a good one to end on. So, we got the cervical vertebra. That is what looks like this. And then next we got the thoracic vertebra, and that is what looks like that. And this is going to be lumbar because it's a little bit shorter. The spinous process, the point, the one point, you know, facing up towards YouTube right up here. Then there's that. But now when we get to these, we know this is the last one because you got the conchs right there at the bottom. So let's go. This is gonna be right here, and this is gonna be right there, because I'm just looking at it in the book, and that's just the way it is. Because I feel like once you put that slap down right there, or I mean, if you put that there, right there, bam. I mean, right, yeah, right there, then bam. Not exactly sure what this is. Alright. You know, we need another one to actually feel like we ended on a good note. So what is the role or function of the yellow marrow in the bone tissue? It's not the site for blood cell formation, that is the red bone marrow. Red bone marrow assists with the movement of the bone. I'm gonna have to go with the last one because, you know, actually, a nice story about this is, you know, some people that don't have enough food, or animals that have just killed another animal, obviously, what they do is they eat the bones and go straight for that yellow bone marrow, because that's just fat, that's calories right there. You know, and if you're a person, sometimes they boiled that to where the fat became in a liquid form, and they'd break the bone, and then they'd actually drink the yellow bone marrow. I'm not making that up. You can actually Google that, a video. You know, watch another video like this. Bam. There we go. But, like I said, we're going to end on this one. This is a very good question to end on, because, hey, it's simple, and it makes us feel like we did something great. Right there on the next video, we're going to start here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate if you do like, subscribe, and as always, when you're bored, I'm bored. Let's learn some anatomy, right? Join me and let's watch some anatomy. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.